In a town where the sun rises faithfully over unfinished dreams, 3 young men had mastered the art of waiting. They leaned against cracked walls. They spoke loudly about futures they had never begun. They were not walking. They were not building. They were observing life as if it were a movie. And they were only the audience. The market opened every morning with noise and possibility. But for some men, even opportunity becomes background sound. They had grown comfortable with comfort. Every morning, before the town fully woke, one man walked past them. A worn sports bag rested on his shoulder. Boots touched the dust before sunrise. There was no applause, no audience, no announcement that greatness was passing by. While others waited for something to happen, he moved. He trained when the air was still cold. He ran when the streets were empty. He built strength nobody saw. Greatness often begins in silence. One afternoon, laziness found a new argument. They convinced themselves that success was luck, that wealth was connection, that some people simply arrive. It is easy to admire the harvest when you have never watched the planting. And so, they began their search, not for work, not for skill, but for a shortcut. They moved from market to market, street to street, door to door. They asked strangers questions that had no honest answers. How do we get rich quickly? How do we skip the struggle? How do we rise without climbing? Sweat replaced confidence. Hope slowly turned into irritation. Their legs were tired. Their mouths were dry. And for the first time, silence began to ask them questions. At the edge of the village, under a mango tree, sat an old man, still, calm, unmoved by the noise of the world. Some men carry wealth in their pockets. Others carry it in their eyes. The young men approached him with desperation. Disguised as curiosity, they wanted answers, they wanted secrets. But wisdom does not shout. It invites. 2 of them grew impatient with his calmness. They wanted speed. They wanted magic. And so, they left. But one stayed. Darkness settled quietly over the village. But not every mind was at rest. Some truths refused to sleep. Resentment moved through the night, like a restless wind. The old man's words had not brought peace. They had exposed something deeper. And when truth exposes the part of us we'll refuse to change, it does not comfort us. It confronts us. It often feels like an attack. A confrontation happened beneath that darkness, a sudden push, a fallen candle. But wisdom does not collapse when it is touched by anger. It stands, even in the dark. 2 figures walked home beneath a quiet sky. There was no laughter now, no clever arguments about easy success. Only footsteps, slow, uneasy. Regret does not shout. It walks beside you, and sometimes it walks longer than you expect. Across the village, under the same moon, the old man still sat with the children. His candle burned again. His voice remained steady. True strength does not react in rage. It continues in purpose. Wisdom cannot be extinguished by fear. Children carry truth without strategy. They went to the one man who had listened. They spoke quickly, breathless, honest. And in that moment, something inside him shifted. A quiet line had been crossed. That night, sleep did not come easily. In the stillness, he saw clearly. Not fame, not applause, not headlines, but early mornings, empty streets, effort before recognition. He understood what the others refused to see. Morning returned, as it always does. The bench was there. and on it lay a familiar figure, a man who came to the market every day with nothing to sell, nothing to build, and no intention to change. He arrived early, not to trade, not to grow, but to watch. Some people attend the market only to witness other people's effort. Slowly, they become spectators of their own lives. He looked at the bench and saw the life he admired, a life built through discipline, not waiting. I can no longer choose this path. Not the path of noise without action, not the path of anger without growth, not the path of waiting for life to move first. He picked up his bag. He turned away from the bench. And as he walked into the new morning, somewhere across town, a man was already running. The bench felt empty, but something greater had just begun.